Alright, we're here. We're starting a table. Play a little cash game. Got a sit and go going tonight. Trying to recover from a pretty big downswing that we don't like, haven't had. So, see if we can change that around tonight. So we'll do a little bit of both. Standard cash game going. I'll play a little sit and go. Everything looks good? Yeah, we look right. Alright, sounds good. The hamster race over here is not exactly racing to decide what he wants to do, but we're good. Meanwhile, I'm going to call our king queen. And we're going to lead here. Or not. We got a piece of that. Alright. Overbet that pot. Really? This has got a piece. So we're ready to fold. See how he wants to play that. I'll see how he wants to play it. Alright, I've got nothing over here, so. It's really no good. Nah, we're not gonna float that early. Fold. So, I don't know what the plan for tonight is. Other than don't lose any more money, that would be bad. Which would probably be a poor reason to start a sit and go. Not sure we have the greatest ROI on those, but yeah, no. Play something a little different, get a little kind of tournament feel to it. There we fold. Get kind of a tournament feel of the game. Something a little different. See what we can do. Yeah, no, because we've been having this really terrible downswing that we don't like having, so let's see what we can do about it. Change it up a bit. I don't know. I have not been particularly happy with the way things have been going. Again, I'm playing alright, just not making money. In fact, doing the exact opposite. There we go. Let's see if our tournament game is anywhere as bad as our cash game has been. Hopefully not. So we'll see. No raise. We don't like to let you in cheap this early. Make a decision. We'll just bet the continuation bet. Really? Alright, we'll let it go. We have outs. Equity there, I guess. Maybe we should call, but it's early. We play a little tighter. I guess we could kind of mess around a little bit with some of our early chips. But, I mean, at this point, he's showing strength. I don't have a made hand. So, we don't need to risk it here. We can find a better spot, I think. Unlike this spot, which is just no good. No good. Not good at all. Not a spot that makes me particularly happy. Whatever, we'll figure it out. One of these days we'll figure it out. Either that or we'll just chop it up to variance catching up with us. So, that could always be the case. Always factor in that fact that variance could always be catching up with us. Oh, cold. Oh man. We gotta fold. We got nothing going on. See how this one turns out. Looking mighty limpy. I'm being honest. We simply fold that away. Ace 4. So much money in the pot. We're gonna make it a call. And we're looking to just see a cheap flop. Try to maybe make something. What's going on here? So weird. Anyway, who cares? Oh. So it looks like we might still get to see a cheap flop. Everybody's kind of limping in. We'll take it. Take a whole bunch of limps. And we'll take nothing on that flop. That's beautiful. I don't think we could have missed it any harder. Oh yeah, no, we technically have one suit. I suppose we could have missed it harder. That's okay. Ace, 8. We can 3-bet here. Guy's been raising a lot. He really likes the 3-bet. See how he deals with it. Get some information. We don't want to pay for it, but we'll get some information, that's for sure. There we go. I guess he didn't like that 3-bet, did he? Guess he didn't like that 3-bet. We're happy to oblige him with that one. Fold on the 9 deuce. Nothing doing. Nope, we got an all-in on this table. Let's see what happens. Kings versus ace deuce. And a deuce boost. Yep. Yeah, that seems about standard. Those are some terrible beats. That's alright, we got one guy basically out. Everybody that falls out, we move closer up to at least cashing a little bit in this thing. We don't mind cashing. Definitely don't mind that at all. In fact, we appreciate cashes. So let's keep going for those. Oh man. I am having a rough day. Here we go. We played earlier. We lost another couple buy-in and a half, so having about a 4.5 buy-in downswing, so we would like to see that trend break tonight. And we're still in profit, but considerably less than we were before, so that's not good. So we'll try to change that tonight. Look at antes on this thing. It's such an early level. Oh, we got it all in. We're too early to call them. We'll let it go. So, needless to say, it's been a very stressful day for me. You know, because that's super stressful. Losing a couple buy-ins you can afford to lose. But I would have preferred not to. Ugh. Oh, and I had this dude scare me today at the grocery store. I mean, I don't think he meant to scare me, but I think it ended up happening that way. Because I was just sitting there. I was going to my car after I got grocery shopping, and, you know, I'm getting reloaded my groceries in and everything else, and I see this guy. Young guy, I mean, not a big deal. I see him walking towards me, and I'm like, all right, I just kind of noticed he was talking. He was talking on the phone. I kind of noticed him. So I bent down to put the groceries in my car, and I'm watching and not really paying attention because, you know, I've kind of just noticed he was there. It was no big thing, no threat, nothing going on. And I guess somehow in the time between, I like took my eyes, just like acknowledged he was there, and kind of looked down and put my stuff in the car. I guess he had kind of decided to like speed up and cut in between the two cars. So as I stood up, he was like right next to me, and like I basically spun around and squared up on him and was like, I'm like, oh, whoa, and he's like, oh no, man, sorry. And I'm like, oh man, you scared the living shit out of me. I didn't expect anybody to be there. So that was a quick moment of adrenaline for the day. Not every day you feel like you're like some guy's trying to like rush you as you try to get into a car or something. So it was really strange to just spin around and see someone standing there and like, you know, react like. I mean, I pretty quickly just kind of squared up and looked at him and realized quickly that he was just that same dude. But that moment of adrenaline rush was something else. I mean, I could see it was kind of fun, but I could do without thinking I have to fight people all the time. That wouldn't be fun. I wouldn't want to walk around like that, that's for sure. Glad I don't have to. We got Queen 10 here. We're gonna see a flop. See what's going on. Much less adrenaline in these. Much more adrenaline in that one interaction than I've had playing poker today. When these. Seems like every time I have a big hand and I could get an adrenaline rush off of it, I ended up losing, so. Didn't quite work out for me in that sense. Back here. One behind, Jack 8. For a small bet. Expecting to lose. I'm gonna reps Jack, see if we any pair. Just looking to value bet. They raise you. Looks like some kind of raw. What bets are these guys gonna be? This guy's pretty solid, actually. Alright. He's got some pretty solid stats here, so. We're going to assume that he is going to be one of the tougher players here. Try not to get too out of line. But also recognize that we can get a little out of line because he does seem to know what he's doing. Just ironically, the players you kind of want to get. You can get a little more out of line are the ones that know what's going on. We'll make adjustments and assume that you're making adjustments as well. See how that goes. Again, I got really wrong. Apparently my instincts are all over the place. I didn't recognize that some guy wasn't trying to jump me, and I didn't recognize that I can't play poker today. So that's why I started to play. Based on the evidence from earlier, poker is not exactly where I should be right now, because we are in a downswing. But I guess we never really get into an upswing unless we try to come out of the downswing, so that's what we're attempting. See if we can make it work. Oh. Apparently, I can't even keep this pipe lit tonight. I don't know how it's going to speak for profit. Look at this guy. Oh, I'm not full. Just targeting me. Alright, we'll see, buddy. What's this out? Guess he knew. He must have known that I recognized his plans and was going to make the proper adjustments. So he was running away. Doubtful. Doubtful that's actually what's happening, but we can imagine. I got a piece of it. Do you have a piece of it? No, I'll take it. I didn't have a piece of it. Sheer bluff, blind versus blind. Oh, he left. Oh well. We are not going to complain about a tougher opponent leaving the table. So, meanwhile, we got a hand we gotta play. Yeah, it's not gonna be that cheap, people. We're not making it that cheap. We don't get too many of these hands. We'd like to capitalize when we can. We'll see if it works out for us. We'll see if it works out for us. Alright, got the over. That's a big stack. Yeah, again, it's not gonna be cheap. We don't get to see any more cards. There we go. Queen 10 early position, we can fold. Don't need to be playing that. Not this or not early position. So we're trying to chip up. Let some of the other stacks battle each other, knock each other around for a bit. Wait for solid hands. Out of the goal. Oh. Fun and excitement. What do we have on these tables? Anybody we know? Anybody we played against? Doesn't seem like too many names that I've recognized, and or too many hands on most people. Most people in this. But nobody at the sit and go is anybody we've played before. Hamster Race is here. Looks like we played a few hands with him. Osho Rojo. Says we got hands on him. I don't know him particularly, so name doesn't ring a bell. So we'll see. What's going on here? Let's see. What are these? Alright, over here. A pair of jacks we're going to be raising. Because we would like to get paid. We would like to charge hands that are junk to get away from us. Tell them to leave us alone. We are not interested in playing against you. Yep, we got re-raised. Don't think we necessarily have to put in the 4-bit here. I think we just call. See how nasty the flop is. We're just gonna check. One king isn't all that bad. You have to worry about ace king, king queen, obviously kings, aces queens. There's some hands we're kind of worried about, but I think we have to make at least one call here. Expect the river to check unless he's got that king and really going for value. In which case we'll just get away from it. Looks like he wants me. Oh, so hey, it's not going well. We're having a rough day of poker. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? You don't leave yourself anything behind. I guess I gotta fold here. He's not leaving any fold equity or anything. So I can get him out of there. So yeah, no, I'm doing good though. How are you doing? It's been a rough day of poker, but I'm doing well. It's been an otherwise good day. How is you going with you? And yes, I realize I asked that question twice in 2 different ways. Alright. Yeah, I figured I would play a sit and go, change things up a little bit. Not necessarily So get a little kind of a tournament action rather than just getting outdrawn on every hand of a cash game, because that seems to be exactly my lot in life. It's all good though. But then again, we get into these cash games and similar things are happening. So, all right, well, this is looking at least happy. Got a chance. Evening. Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. Let's. Of course you bet. But I got a hand, so I just don't want to see anything else. Let's just make it. Yeah, there we go. We're happy now. Take that out. Indigo, how we doing? How's it going tonight? We had informative martial arts blackout stories last night. Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, I've had some interesting experiences with that. Luckily, most of the time, I'm the one making someone go unconscious rather than have it the other way around. Lucky for me, I don't, I've been unconscious a couple times. Like, close a few. One time, definitely, like, out, having a dream, realizing I was going out too late, waking up a few seconds later, going, I went out, didn't I? And looking up at my training partner, and he was like, yeah, you did. I'm like, wasn't that bad. So, but, yeah, a few people. I've had a few people go out with, against me. It's always funny when they wake up, because you essentially lose like 30 seconds too, so you actually don't know what happened. So you have to make that, you just make the inference that, here we go. Well, I guess I got no choice. Okay, we're ahead. We were ahead. Give me a jack. Ugh. Well, that's how we end that one. Yeah, way to show with the ace 10. Good to be. Finished 8th. Yay. That's alright. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's re-register. See if there's another tournament going. Oh, okay. Yeah, this would make sense. This would make sense. I have a jack. I have jacks. Oh, I'm gonna call. I accidentally didn't mean to bet that little. Hold on, I will answer that as soon as I figure out what is happening here. That's just terrible. Mean of this whole system. Yeah, take it. Nothing about fighting, but I offer good odds on it. Yeah. Do they not? Yeah, I would, well, yeah, when you're getting choked unconscious, either way, it's not terrible, but I would, yeah, much rather be the one doing the choking out than being choked out. No, I played, oh god, what is your history in poker? Yeah, this is kind of a bankroll challenge in the sense that I'm actually trying to grow my bankroll rather than just playing whatever limits I feel like playing. So we're sticking to some kind of bankroll management rather than just going, oh, I can afford to play a $50 table tonight, so let's do it. In that sense. Oh man. But no real history in poker. I've been playing for a while. Yeah, of course. All right. There we go. Kings. So actually, I was playing prior to Black Friday. Was that way back? Was that 2011 now? Was that ridiculous? Is it, like, am I ridiculous to think it was 2011? So I was playing online prior to that. Again, just recreational for fun. And that obviously wouldn't, because it was just kind of a recreational fun time I was playing before that. So when Black Friday hit, I kind of fell away for a while, and every few years I kind of pick up the game just as something to do. And this time I was figured I would like actually take a run at trying to like be responsible with it. So we're starting at the micros. And we'll move up, and plus I couldn't just go to the casino with everything being closed down due to the virus. So I figured this was safer anyway, because Lord knows you could lose real money there, as I have. I've won some, but I've lost some too. So yeah, I've just had a love-hate relationship with the game for a while, and every once in a while I pick it up as a challenge to try to get better, and when I get bored with it, I stop. So this time I figured as additional motivation, I would put all my embarrassing play out there for everyone or anyone to see who cares to, in the hopes that it would convince me not to be as crazy as I have been. So far, the success is somewhat marginal. I mean, we're not doing bad. I can actually show you. There we go. We haven't gone to the HUD today. So, yeah, we're up. Well, let's not look at that number right now. So, we'll look at the green line still being above this thick line as an optimistic point of view. We will ignore the fact that the green line was higher in previous days. We'll just ignore this little... We'll consider this a sideways motion before we break out and start to moon. Alright, we've been watching a little bit of the crypto markets. We can trust that we can move sideways before we do a moonshot, so we just need one good session to really start to get the momentum going. And I'm trying not to sound like a gambler chasing his losses. Just one more pull of the slot machine and I'll be ahead, I'm sure. But in the meantime, I'm trying to do a little bit of learning and pick up some tips here and there. Today I was watching, what was I watching? Jonathan Little, he just put out a live webinar on cash games. And that's some interesting ideas in it. I'll look at kind of implementing my game. Actually, I've seen a little bit of it today with some of the overbetting I was doing on the turn. So that's the idea. Oh, dude, thanks. I appreciate that, man. And hey, congratulations, man. That's awesome. Wow, since August? Really good, dude. $10 at 1 cent, 2 cent, sitting on 5.50. Nice. Yeah, you watched that stream today? That was a good one. I didn't get to watch all of it. Like, yeah, I tend to... In all honesty, I do a little bit of driving during the day for work, so I tend to throw those on in the car or while I'm driving. Don't ask. There's a thing on the thing with the phone and unlimited data, and it's mostly audio. I swear I'm not distracted. A lot of times I'm sitting in parking lots. I work for Pepsi, so I work in merchandise grocery stores. So a lot of times I'm just sitting in the parking lot in the car, not actually driving, but if I'm not saying I'm not driving, but I sit there and I watch my informative videos, and you know, a lot of the hand of the day stuff that he puts out. So I think that's all great stuff. I'm actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think I actually have a membership still, at least at some level, to pokercoaching.com. I probably should go back and watch some of that. No, it is. It's all free. Like all the stuff that he streams out, like everything is. It's just nice. He puts out a lot of content too. A lot of the webinars, a lot of the just a little coffee stuff. That's all. I mean, yeah. If you're trying to pick up poker, there's so many free channels on YouTube that'll give you some information. It's great. Like I remember having to go and yeah, those ranges are great. I mean, those ranges, if anything, just to plug up some of the most basic leaks in the game. Again, they've somewhat helped me. Clearly, they've helped you more. Now I'm starting to feel competitive. Like I gotta try to catch 550. I don't know if I can put that kind of hours in though. That might be too many. I don't know if I don't have the time or the stamina for that. Not sure I'm willing. But while you're doing that, while you're running your bankroll up a lot higher than mine, just know that I'm just busy choking fools out. So I guess it's a trade-off. I mean, I guess you do what you like, right? I actually like those quizzes. Those quizzes are fun. I think that's a fun way to learn stuff too. Yeah, I think I picked up like I guess he's got, I don't know how many levels of membership they have. There's so many promotions out there. I think he had like a Cinco de Mayo one last year, and I was like, well, if it's gonna be a lockdown, I can't do jiu-jitsu. I think that's when I was getting back in it. Yeah, oh, these hands, yeah, we're not, I haven't been playing all that much, like, I mean, I had some money, I had, when I started, I had some money on this account that I had put in. Yeah, see, like that's cool. Like, when I haven't stopped working even during the pandemic because I'm technically, I guess I'm considered an essential employee because I put sugary caffeinated death on the shelf. But people want it, so I gotta put it out there. So yeah, this is just something to do at night when I can't sleep because I drink too much caffeinated, not necessarily sugary death. Like this Lipton green tea citrus. Not the best drink to be having at 11 o'clock at night if you ever plan on sleeping. But so yeah, this was me just recognizing that I did not want to lose the money I had on poker if I couldn't have to. Yeah, oh, that's cool. So you're gonna go like the GTO route? Jeez, man. God, do you ever sleep? Or is this just an unusual night for you? Or are you just always up? Yeah, no, like the days I've been playing, I like my days off because I only work like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So when I do have a day off, I tend to sleep in, and then it kind of, and because I'm used to getting up at like 5 a.m. to go to work. So when I don't get up and I sleep in, like I'll be awake for another couple hours, like just wired and not able to sleep. I think even after I've been shutting these streams off late, I've been kind of going to bed like an hour later by the time I wind down, watch some YouTube, check out another Twitch stream. Ah, night owl mode, huh? What is it you do? Anything fun and interesting? Or something monotonous enough that you're going to grind up a poker bankroll so you don't have to do it anymore? Since you think you start playing. Because you're planning on playing 25 and 50 no limit, so I assume you're planning on going up from there as well. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, nice. Government jobs are generally fairly secure. What's with the soccer theme? Am I just... Nicole, didn't you say you were a soccer coach? You said coaching resumes. I thought it was soccer, right? It's weird connections with these soccer people. I mean, it's not like it's the most popular game in the world, but still strange. Come, it's a random Twitch stream and have so many direct soccer references. All right, this is. What are we doing here? Oh, it is soccer. Coaches, referees. Small world, regardless of how big the internet gets. So I'm pretty sure at some point in the near future, we'll all just end up being citizens of the internet, the loyal republic of Google and Amazon. You know, just depending on which hemisphere they decide to give each other. You know, how they break up the world between the two. Watching Skynet, I mean Twitter, I mean Skynet, I mean completely independent journalism. Not consensus thought, all. And meanwhile, trying to covertly play poker online, as apparently it's the most detrimental thing to society. But maybe that's just my conspiracy theory. My only hope is that when the AI does take over, it does allow us to play games. Keep us occupied. Like dumb Roman citizens with our bread and circuses. I'll take it. I will take it. I am not convinced that this is enough, that I need any more stress in my life. Give me games. I say that, but I'm not even playing a game that's particularly enjoyable without stress. I have to play a game that can be productive and forces me to risk money. Alright, let's see. Did we do it? Let's see if we can find another table. It's getting too slow. Let's see what they have available here. There's not much. Oh, there isn't there. Are you the 9-handed table? No, you're not 9-handed. I want 9-handed. There's a 9-handed table here. I don't have any. Sorry, trying to find another table, but anything interesting is kind of booked up. Oh, here's not. If it actually fills up or not. What happened here? What was going on while I wasn't paying attention? This got out of hand quick, didn't it? This got way out of hand real quick. Not exactly sure how what happened. So, let's see what they have. Yeah, right? I know. Considering it's called Texas Hold'em, you think you'd be able to play it in the US as much as you want. I mean, sure, regulate the sites. That's just only sensible, but where they shut everything down, like, I mean, you basically just force the game underground again. But I guess we're going back to its roots then, so if you think of it that way, it's almost like the Wild West of old, with the poker being kind of like marginally legal and just generally ignored. Not really anybody kind of caring too much, but at the same time kind of living in this strange gray area where all these poker sites are like out of Costa Rica, where they're sheltered and they can form these corporations that are semi-legal, quasi-legal, and I feel like I'm on the Silk Road trading Bitcoin to try to get money on a poker site, like it's heroin or some large quantity of cocaine being smuggled across the world. when it's really just like, you know, $150 in poker money. I like that description though. I like the idea of thinking of the US as being a brilliant and tolerable place all in one. Me, I'm from Rhode Island. I am on the East Coast. I'm a hop, skip, and a jump away from Boston. So I'm in that little state that is shadowed by Massachusetts, but has just as much history, though much little, but a lot less known. Down the East Coast and across. Oh yeah. To listen to all the country music, really. Down in Nashville and everything. I haven't been to Nashville. I hear it's a really nice place, though. But some of your laws, like poker, gun laws, privatize everything. Yeah. It's... I could see from a European perspective, but again, I think you guys are just a couple generations ahead of us. I feel like we're all tracking in the same direction. Eventually we'll get... You know, I feel like we're going to move in that direction. I feel like we just lag a generation or 10 years behind Europe. For both good and bad. I mean, again, you know, clearly we don't do revolution as well as Europe does, because ours just look kind of tacky. At least the European revolutions are still romanticized and kind of look cool. Ours just look like a bunch of rednecks who got drunk and decided to just, you know, climb a wall and cause chaos. I mean, just talking about the optics. I'm not talking about the politics. I mean, but if you think about it, it's actually a rather interesting visual. It's a visual optics. Yeah, beheading monarchs is very... Yeah, see, like... If I'm going to be honest, the do to me is like... Beheading people is... I mean, that's not cool. But... It does say something about how serious you are. Not a big fan. In my private life, I don't generally go around beheading people I don't like. I just save my aggression so that I can aggressively hug my friends at jiu-jitsu class. Or, as we like to say, we fold each other's laundry while we're still in it. Works for us. But yeah. Though ironically, if you think about it, it is kind of in keeping with American tradition that was the optic of this other weekend. Because if you think about even the American Revolution against the British, no offense, we still like you. We think things are patched up, right? Like, we're okay with Europe now, right? Well, wait, is Europe even okay with England anymore? Or have they just come around to our point of view? I'm very confused by all that anyway. Maybe that's the case. Maybe we were way ahead of the rest of Europe in knowing that England was like, you're okay, do your own thing. We're gonna go do ours. But, ironically, the American Revolution actually is often credited with with Boston and the Boston Tea Party and all that. But there was actually a smaller and lesser known event that happened in Rhode Island, which was the sinking of the Gatsby, where they sunk a British ship off the coast. And they took the captain prisoner, and it was kind of this prisoner exchange thing. It was kind of a fairly revolutionary act, but that act, I mean, the actual story is a lot less romantic. It was the guy who was the captain of the ship was actually there on a tax ship, so they were coming to collect taxes from the provinces, and a bunch of Rhode Islanders were drinking in a bar and decided they'd rather not pay taxes. So it seemed to them like the best idea would be to board the ship and take the captain hostage. Hey, we bluffed one through. And that's what they did. And then they burned his ship to the ground, and eventually they released him. No harm, no foul. But we still have a parade every year in the center of one of the cities in the state. And every year they celebrate the sinking of a ship when a bunch of drunk dudes decided that they didn't want to pay taxes. So I don't think we've strayed very far from our roots. There's still a lot of drunk dudes that don't want to pay taxes. Anyway, That's random, probably not very accurate History Night. Thanks for watching. Though in all fairness, I don't think I'm far off from the actual facts without adding a little bit of, probably a little bit of interpretation and flair. We're... Can't get on a 10-handed, 9-handed table. We just want to get on one, but there's none available. Oh, meanwhile, we've recovered a little bit. Right. Yeah, I think that's one of the fun things about history is getting past the myth. I don't think myths are bad, though. I think that's one thing people have... Alright, now you're hitting, like, gonna go off on a rant? No, I'm just kidding. I don't think myths are bad. I think myths are a stabilizing factor in society. I think we all believe myths. There are things that we just believe, not because we've researched them or we've taken any time to actually study anything about them, but because we were told that by an authority figure. And I think that creates this common history and a common story that we tell each other that tends to unify us, and it tends to bond us together into some rubric. And again, that could be good or for bad. I mean, there's plenty of myths that got started that have led to communities forming for bad reasons. I don't think that necessarily I'm putting a judgment value on myths. I think the idea of story and narrative is extremely important, as clearly we have oral histories and oral traditions that date well before any of our written histories are have been put out there. So I think that's one of the interesting things about the current time we live in, is that it's so easy to break down myths. I mean, look at some of the, we got shows, Mythbusters, we got websites, Snopes, that were, big websites whose entire job was, however you want to view any of them, their idea is to break down the story and deconstruct it. So, I mean, I think it's interesting to see where this postmodern idea of narrative is going to lead. And clearly right now we see it as fracturing whole societies and whole communities, but I don't know, man. Sometimes you got to break stuff down to rebuild it. And sometimes you gotta really break down the weaknesses to build strengths. The problem is, I think a lot of times nowadays things are getting torn down, not to be built up, but just simply because tearing things down is fun. I mean, hell, I started this conversation about how much fun it is to choke my friends unconscious. There's something extremely gratifying about breaking shit. I'm not sure what that is, or why, or what primitive instinct, or what evolutionary purpose it serves to have a mind that just like thinks that breaking shit is fun, but apparently we do. I will have to ask my girlfriend. She's a psychologist. Maybe she can tell me why I like to break things. Well, hell, not in general. Oh, everybody loves a chop pot. Just so much fun. Thanks for coming. Typical Brit. Yeah. Right? Turns out the Mongols Empire. Yeah. India was extremely important to them at the time, right? I wonder if he actually made the right or wrong decision. Like, I know, like, in retrospect, would it have been different if they had, how would diverting resources to the U.S. war, the Revolutionary War, how that would be an interesting alternate history. That would be an interesting alternate history show, like the idea of what if the British Empire had continued because of that? What if they had taken the U.S.? 150 trillion years. Yeah, good point. That tea was far more important. Tea is important, though. Tea is a great... why you get me... Oh, yeah. I have a redraw. I don't know. We are 7th in the world. Yeah. Nice hand. We're not. True. But just think, if it had all worked out in India, you could have all the call centers and a lot of other things. Drawing a blank. Because woefully ignorant on India's exports. Oh, well, that makes life interesting now, doesn't it? What do I do? Oh, yeah, of course, I can't raise. Casey has the diamond. Oh, full house, even better. Good for you, sir, good for you. So yeah. It's a rather interesting conversation. But now England's independent. They're going their own. They're doing their own thing. It's an ironic twist of history that now they're fighting for their independence, in a sense. I need more. Oh, no, I really wasn't getting away from that hand. Don't worry about that. I'm playing one table. It's not all that distracting. I wasn't really too... I wasn't too concerned that you cost me that hand. It was one of those... That was definitely one of those crying calls. Because if I were him, I would have been betting the turn on any kind of bluff or with any ace high of diamonds, and then I would have been betting the river. Oh yeah, really? I sounds so bad, but I don't want to say like I don't know anything about Brexit. I mean, I know what it is and some of the reasoning behind it and some stuff, but I try to stay out of the news cycle a little bit about stuff that doesn't necessarily directly influence me. And I realize that obviously we live in a world economy, all that stuff, blah blah blah. But I don't really have too deep of a knowledge of the in and outs of British politics, other than the debates are great. I honestly think our senators and our Congress and our representatives should be allowed to insult each other and mock each other. I think that would make for much better political theater in this country. I'm not sure it would make for elevated political theater, be given the ignorance of some of the members that we continuously send back, but it would be very interesting if we had a parliamentary system like you guys where that was allowed. But yeah, I've heard arguments on both sides about Brexit, whether it's good, bad, remains to be seen. Yeah, that does seem like Japan and Australia. Now, was that because? Yeah, no, I got what you're saying. Was that because France didn't want to break ranks with the EU, or was that more on the choice of was that British choice, like England's choice? Eventually, I'll stutter my way through that. Yeah, Australia. You really couldn't have gotten any farther away to structure a trade deal, right? Or is that just a function of how the trade routes would have to be structured with treaties and stuff like that? I don't know. But yeah, on the face of it, that seems a bit ridiculous. Because I certainly know that if I'm going to go buy groceries, I do not go to the grocery store in Florida. I would go to the one around the corner. Yeah, if that's an apt metaphor, analogy, simile, something like that. Oh, there's so much in the pot. So many options. So much in the pot. Oh, that's just mean. Alright, we're gonna buy more. Top off done. Oh, so yours succeeded. Oh, quads. Tough to beat those. Yeah, racist tensions. I definitely can understand that being in America. We seem to have a problem with that as well. It seems to be a continuing issue. I'm not sure why. Yeah, well, yeah. I definitely feel like if any resource we are lacking in general, it is critical thinking in this world. But that kind of goes back to, I think that kind of goes back to, like, philosophically what we were talking about earlier, with the idea of it being fun to break stuff down. I think that's one of the deficiencies of this kind of thought, postmodern thought that we kind of culture that we live in these days, is that there's some sense of when everything can be true, there's always going to be a sense that nothing is true. And then when you break down every story and you break down every myth and every ideal, at some level, like, you lose that kind of that bonding that holds everything together. And, like, when it comes to, like, racial tensions and stuff, like, again, stepping in tricky waters with that, but I think a lot of that can fall back on the fact that, not that you want to have a nationalistic ideal, but there used to be this kind of shared principle. And I think the first one of that shared principle is that we used to give the benefit of the doubt to the motives of other people. And I don't think we do that much anymore. I think a lot of people walk around these days doubting that anybody is doing anything for a good reason. I think everybody's just too suspicious. And I think we're being fed information that allows us to stay suspicious. And not even, and from both sides. I mean, like, if anybody is gonna, no one fearmongers quite as obviously as, at least over here, as the right wing. And it's not necessarily wrong. I mean, you do have to approach the world with a sense of caution. You don't just walk out into traffic without looking both ways. But at the same time, that doesn't mean you don't ever leave your house and progress forward. Otherwise, you're just basically stuck in lockdown, scared of a virus that doesn't actually exist, right? You're creating these boogeymen just to keep you at home. It's this self-isolation that keeps you from actually experiencing other people, other cultures, experiencing differences that could actually grow you as a person. I don't know if any of that's making sense, but it's just kind of weird. Just kind of rambling here as I'm thinking about this chop pot that I'm going to try to raise him off of. I hope I didn't run into quads, which would be my luck. Man, I don't really think he can fold here. I mean, I could have an 8, so I guess he's got to consider it. Okay. More than happy to take it away from him. Wow, that was strange. What to say? But yeah, no, yeah, oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, no reason not to. I mean, can't imagine worry too much. Yeah, you can't call. Can't call without the 8. And if he had the 8, he should have been betting it a lot sooner. I was just kind of wondering what raise size I should put out there to make it not completely obvious what I was doing. At least make it have some semblance of believability as being a value raise. That's yeah, that was my thinking. Like, there's no reason not to raise there. He clearly puts out that load, especially with a block bet like that. Like, that's pretty much like at least a move that I have that I am capable. When an obvious block bet comes out, I'm going to charge you for it when able. I mean, in that particular case, it was no brainer. There's no reason not to. We're obviously playing the board unless he's got quad 4s or another 8. But again, so few combos. So we'll take undeserved money, especially when we work for it. All right, what do we got? Is there literally a table I can get on here that makes sense? I want to play another 5-hand table. Bomb pot. Not mumbling. This is all these tables, but nothing really interesting. No, I don't want to play bomb pots. Don't want to play bomb pots. Don't want to play bomb pots tonight. Like, basically giving away 16 big blinds per hour. And when you're on a downswing, giving away 16 big blinds per hour does not seem like the healthy way to do things. So, we're going to avoid doing that, if we can. Now, let's see if we can get... no action on the jacks. So unfair. I didn't even bump up. Play 1025 if I could find a non-bomb pot table, but it doesn't look like there's many. We'll keep an eye out. We'll keep trying it. We'll keep doing what we can. Wait, here we go. An opening. We'll join the waiting list. I don't know how many are on the waiting list though. Just us, it looks like. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get an invite to play over there. We can lose some more money. Yay! Losing money is fun. Speaking of which, how's Bitcoin doing today? We started our sideways motion. Are we gonna rally back up? Are we gonna grow up into become a real currency? Is Geppetto gonna make us a real boy? I hope so. Otherwise, how am I going to fund my poker account if Bitcoin doesn't grow? It's certainly not going to be by grinding it at a 10-20 table or a 5-10 table, because that's not working out. I feel like I'm making more profit just letting my Bitcoin sit in my account that I use to fund my poker. Where's that table? Oh, I should. Let me see if I can filter this thing. Sorry, I'm just going through the lobby here trying to figure out. Oh gosh, it's so specific. All right, no, that's a good question. Intentional. I don't know. What is my C-bet percentage? Yeah, my C-bet percentage has dipped, huh? Oh, you're talking about the VOD. I tend to C-bet. Yeah, I don't know. Are you talking about like the size of my C-bets? Like that I tend to put out smaller C-bets? Or are you talking about just percentage-wise? I don't think my percentage is that bad. You can look at that. I think, yeah, because I think it doesn't even show it on here, but I have it over here. Yeah, because I'm right. What am I C-betting here? I'm C-betting about 57% of the time. So actually not C-betting that small, that little. But yeah, I do tend to put out lower C-bets, which allows me to bet, like, I think a little more frequently. And that could be a leak. I also just, in general, I try to apply the minimal amount of pressure to get the job done when it's an obvious, like, you know, if you're looking at a C-bet, like, everybody kind of knows you're going to C-bet. So for me, like, the idea, at least in theory, is that I'm going to try to find the minimum amount of pressure I can apply to players to try to, so that way I'm risking less when I'm C-betting with air. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting more calls when I actually C-bet with a hand. Because I'm not really, if I have a hand, I'm not really trying to chase them out of the pot. Usually I want to try to get value. But if I don't have a hand, I'm more than happy for them to fold. I flopped a set of fives in the big blinds on a 5-8-4 board with 2 suits and donk bet the flop. Why would I do that? I don't know why I would do that. Was last night? As I was finishing, well, I was pretty frustrated when I was finishing. That might very well be the answer to that question. Alright, hold on. I'm going to think about what you said, because I'm trusting that you have really good advice. I tend to C-bet half box quite high on dry boards. Yeah, tilt might have been the answer on that question there. Tilt definitely was probably the question on that one. I was probably just a little too antsy trying to pile money in. I tend to bet C-bet high pot, half pot, quite high on dry boards. 50% went from micros, one of the pool, let's play it full much, they should over C-bet to exploit. Yeah, I'm C-betting right around closer to 60%. But yeah, even I was like, I think it was like 57%. So yeah, you're probably right there. I probably should actually look at doing Maybe I'm just missing what I'm doing and not really paying attention to it. That's actually a good call. So yeah, maybe I should be low, like coming in a little more, a little over quarter pot. Honestly, you know what I think? That's a good point. I should probably be betting a little over quarter pot more often. Kind of small bets more often, more frequently would make sense. So it is, there are these buttons here on the hand table that are just kind of easy to hit. So that's the lazy answer. And I don't know, I know on the other side I was playing on sports betting that I'm able to put like a 2.5, like a quarter pot, a little like a third pot bet. So, all right, we can make an instant change. We're gonna C bet more and smaller. Because actually, I think you are absolutely correct. People fold too much is entirely true. And ironically, I think I apply that a little bit more when I'm playing Zoom. I think I tend to c-bet more frequently for smaller amounts. But yeah, when I'm playing like at a standard table, I tend to do a lot less of that. That's a good question. Let's do a quick search, because I'm actually curious. See what they say. Let's turn this into a learning opportunity. Alright. So yeah. You are correct. As I suspected you were. God, math is stupid. No, you're right. No, you're actually correct. But math is dumb. But yeah, you're right. You should honestly, yeah. I'm just taking a quick look at it. So around 70% is generally considered. I just in a quick kind of overlooking at some of the consensus here online. Yeah, 70% looks to be generally considered a decent range. So you're right, you are correct. And that I should be betting about 10% more. And also 1/3 if it works whenever the time you're printing. So yes. Those. I definitely appreciate that. Is honestly, I definitely appreciate that because there's no reason that you would actually have to take the time to make that observation for me. So I really do appreciate you running that by me. And again, I think it's actually very constructive criticism. I think it's helpful. I think it's something I will keep an eye on. And now I gotta figure out if I can make a 1/3 button. Like, is there a bill? All right, hold on. America's card room. Changing. All right, we'll call. Yeah. Sweet. We're getting nothing. But we're in position. I'm just really bad at figuring out what 1/3 is. What is half? Is that okay? Is it okay that I'm just really bad at figuring out a third? Yeah. Someone really did watch that webinar today. Someone really did watch that webinar today. That's all. Ah, you bastard. Oh. That king didn't help me. It's all good. So can I actually, that's good. But now I gotta see if I can just be lazy and change my default bet sizes, because I don't know if I can do it on this program. Ironically, I actually do have the 35. Yeah, I get you. So yeah, that's true. Actually, the ironic thing is I do on my on sports betting, I do have a 33 and a 65, like 66% bet button actually on the setup. I just don't know if I've never even looked. I've never looked to see if you can actually do it on ACR. I'm sure you can. Like, I mean, kind of a there we go. Just look it up. Reddit will have an answer. No, it does not look like they allow for it. So now I have to think about math and stuff. All right, we can roughly figure that. I thought you said that Jonathan Little was giving all this stuff away for free. You're just paying it forward. That would be awful rude of you to charge a commission on stuff that you got for free. Not a bad business move, but the ethics of it might be shady. Alright, I need to figure it out. I need to play poker better. The scary thing is like, see, is where I need to stop figuring out how to do the technical streaming aspect of the stuff and actually focus on learning the pokery stuff, because that's the official way to call it, pokery. That's right. Yeah, exactly. Good, just like a good mercenary capitalist. The premier mercenary capitalist in the poker world. That'll be you. Nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned capitalism. It can be okay. Greed is good. We're going back to the, what, the 80s and 90s? No, I think you're actually... Oh, really? Who did that lecture? It's an interesting lecture. Oh, so you're right. You're right. You're right in the... You fell right into a lane right there. I was actually watching chess today. That's another game that's really intriguing. And I find that even though I don't really try to play or try to, like, I mean, I know how to play, like the basics of it and some ideas about it, like I've seen stuff, but I saw the Liv Marie one that she did. What is that? The Oxford Union? Isn't that the Oxford Union lecture she did on the poker math? Basically, I mean, that's an idea. But yeah, no. Getting back to it, yeah. I like to watch a lot of the YouTube chess videos. They're fun. So yeah, coming from a chess background, that's pretty cool. Do you still watch chess? Because you don't talk about a complicated game. Do you think I would be a better player, seeming as I could name all this stuff? It's just like... Just what? No, I'm just kidding. I fully realize my limitations as a player. I just don't recognize... I just also think that I have seen the Queen's Gambit. I did watch that series. What did you think of it? I actually thought it was a pretty good series. I actually, more than anything, I thought it was pretty interesting. It was pretty. It was like, yeah, the filmography, like the videography, it was pretty cool. But yeah, no, I think chess is a really fun game. Even though, like I said, I don't play it, I enjoy watching videos about it. No, I don't necessarily think it was aimed at chess players either. Binged it quickly. The sign of a good show, how quickly it gets binged. True though. I think I watched that whole thing in a few days and a couple car rides. Not that I watch videos while I'm driving. I, again, repeat, I would never advocate getting a dashboard mount for your phone and a limited data plan so that you could watch Netflix while driving. I would say that it's best to pull over into parking lots before you service a grocery store to watch your Queen's Gambit. I never said I was a responsible human being. I just say I am an adequately capable one. You've never met a Rhode Island driver. Us East Coasters know how to drive plenty fast, and we tend to like to change lanes without using any of our turn signals. But yes, our roads are slow. I've actually had to pay 3 silly speeding tickets in the last few months from an automated camera that is little. I know where it is. It's right down the road, but it's set up as a speed camera, and it just kind of takes pictures of your license plates, and then they send you a nice little $50 donate to the state ticket. But it was supposedly I'm watching the local news, and they're like, oh, the traffic cameras will be turned on Monday when school starts again. And I'm like, I don't think they were ever turned off, because they kept hitting me on school, because they were supposed to be off because it was school days, but when school wasn't in session around here, they were still doing, half and half things. So I ended up picking up a bunch of tickets because apparently I was going 1 mile an hour faster than the computer said I should. Yeah, 65 is generally the speed limit on most interstate highways. 55 on on intrastate highways, intrastate, but interstate. Wait, I'm never gonna get that right. Anyway, on the ones that go from one state to another, 65 is generally the speed limit. On highways that run inside a state, it's usually like 55. Yeah. They just announced that they're installing even more speed cameras. So I'll be curious to see how many tickets I get there. Oh, okay, I guess I got invited to play at another table, so we'll do that too. So. Yeah, the Autobahn seems fun. I like Autobahn. That seems like it would be a fun place to visit and drive on. Not that I generally go fast. I'm not... Why you gotta be like that? Why is it gotta be like that? No aggression till the end. Yeah, I'm sure. Those speed limits would be fun. It'd be easy to get across pretty quick. Oh yeah, no. Most of the interstates around here, like even up here in New England, like you're safe going 70, 75, maybe 80. I try to stay around 70 just because one of the unfortunate realities of our state here in Rhode Island is it's not exactly managed well. So ticket revenue does help try to shore up budget shortfalls. So the only good thing is when you train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you tend to get to know a lot of police officers, especially when you train at a gym that's pretty well known in the area. You get to know a lot of police officers, so you get to pick up a lot of names you can drop if you happen to be in certain towns where you have to worry about that. I have not been live for 10 hours. That's just earlier today. I didn't reset my clock. Just noticing that. That's okay. So, generally I'm not too concerned about getting pulled over. But yeah, that tends to be an issue around here. The traffic, I'm getting kind of sick of the... Well, the ironic thing is like I said, that's the way they have the speed camera set up. It's in a school zone technically, but it's on the main road, and the school is down a quarter block off of a turn off of that main road. So, you know, it's kind of a sketchy setup. Plus, they set it up right off of where the highway joins this main road. So you come off the highway and all of a sudden you're having to slow down to 25 miles an hour because you're hitting a school zone. Otherwise you get a ticket if you're going over 30. It's really obnoxious. So yeah, the Autobahn, it is not. That is for sure. Oh, I didn't even show you how the insanity that is me is pretending to be today. So, we're going over here. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, I'm busy. Use that, yeah, exactly. Use that public land against the public. Always fun. I like it. So we're actually playing over here because, well, I don't know. I'm bored. And honestly, this is actually not a bad table. So we'll play a little more serious on this table. And we can continue having fun over here, even though we're not having much fun. Well, we are having fun tonight. Don't get me wrong, this conversation's been awesome. But when I speak poker-wise, it has not been the best of scenarios. I'm not gonna let him get too many of those. Yeah, fundraising. It's not really a shot. I just wanted to play a little bit more poker, so I don't really. I wanted to play with something a little nine-handed. It was the only nine-handed table I could find, so we'll just see how it goes. We're cautiously optimistic that something good can happen over here. This was actually the stake I was playing before I decided to do the bankroll thing. On the other side, I played. This is the stakes I was playing. I never really dipped my toes in over here to see how these were. So I'm just curious. And again, not all that concerned about it. This will be a shot. We'll call this a one-off. Oh, I see the cards run just as well over here. Huh. It's nice to know. It's all good. I'll see we're getting just as good at runouts. You make a valid point. You make a valid point. Right, no, that... Yeah, you're right. I think that's 100% correct. And that would be the proper adjustment. But yeah. See, these are the things that when you stop playing for a while, and these are the kind of the leaks you find in your game that you didn't realize you forgot about. But that's actually a good point. I think obviously that information is something I've heard before. I don't know if I've ever actually implemented it or really consciously thought about it, but someone with a math and chess background who has been playing due to lockdown is a person that I will definitely listen to, as you have many more reps under your belt than I do at this point. So I think that'll be fun. And I think that will be decent experiment to try. Try to get my C-bet percentage up. That would be a sub goal, or something I will work on in addition to just trying to win money. Well, when you put it that way, it seems like I should be trying to C-bet about 70% of the time. So when I don't go out, yeah, I get it. That's a rather stark, oh, stupid button. Oh, yes, I want to get in there. Oh, thank you. I like my pipe as well. This is what is this one? This is a Peterson, yeah. It's a Peterson pipe. I've got actually a couple of them. This is the one I picked up. It's my Christmas pipe. So keep them over here to keep me thoroughly nicotined. Because again, when you do jiu-jitsu, you can like nicotine, but cigarettes do not do any good for your cardio. Going back to thinking. Not really. Got to think here. Can I credibly represent that I didn't bet the flop? Okay. Yeah. Pretty sure I had you there. I don't know what doesn't bet that. Alright. Hey, we want a hand. Won't complain. This one I'm actually... What am I smoking tonight? It's actually a good thing I should probably talk about. What am I smoking? I am smoking... Oh, Haunted Bookshop. That is the tobacco of the night. I don't know if you can... Kind of dark, but... All that stuff you see behind me over there, that's mostly tobacco or pipe-related paraphernalia. I got a couple of cabinets full of pipes. So... They are surprisingly a much more expensive hobby than my poker. Again, I buy way too much. Buy way too much tobacco. I probably have more. I have enough tobacco just to weather the Armageddon. That's cool. Actually, I just got a pound of tobacco in a couple days ago to refinish. For every couple months I buy a pound of the Haunted Bookshop because that's like my everyday smoke. So I bought that, and that's because it felt really weird to just buy a pipe and then not buy tobacco, so I got both. Maybe I play better poker if I thought about this as my winnings as potential tobacco money. You know you're in a downswing when you start bringing up that kind of mental tricks. You're like, if I just think about this as tobacco money, I'll play better. Probably not true, but... Okay. Okay, buddy. Have fun. But we'll see. Alright, what is going on? What? Of course, if I thought about poker money as actually being a thing, I would have probably known and been aware of the fact that I was only c-betting 57% of the time, when very clearly the math, as I myself, and only myself, have calculated, shows that I should definitely be c-betting around 70% of the time because I'm giving away way too much equity to people that are making the correct adjustments to my game. Oh no, here we go again. This is one of those nights. I see we're having one of the nights. Go away. No, would you... Oh, I knew it. I knew he was here. We know. You were wrong last time. You were very wrong last time. Oh, you can't be doing that. I took a step up. See, Streamlabs, stop. See, Streamlabs, see, Oh yeah, no, I've never adapted to the big blinds. Would you stop? Have I ever actually listened to your advice? Don't come in here and start with your shenanigans again. We're having a nice civil conversation. Having a very happy day. We don't need your shenanigans. Trust. Oh, here we go. Father knows. Lucky I like him. You're entertaining. I will give you that. You're entertaining. I will give you that. Stop spamming it. We understand. You protect us. We don't trust Papa. Hold on. I got a hand. I gotta play. Thinking here. Okay, I don't have to think too much now. Didn't have to go in. I won. You were right. Mr. Fake Beast, you were correct. I did. Listen. Yeah, no, I did. You gotta try it. I was polarizing. One thing I have learned from doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is sometimes you just trust the authorities and trust the system until you understand why it works. Once you understand, that's when you tend to deviate. Oh my gosh, I should not laugh. I'm only encouraging him. You trust and understand. You trust and understand the system of those who've actually put the time in until you understand why the system works. And it doesn't mean it doesn't honestly mean you're going to implement it perfectly at first, but even imperfectly, a good system will work to your benefit. So, Mr. B, if I might call you that, we were one. Have we ever stopped you from saying anything? Let me guess. Go all in next hand, you have a feeling. It's a predictable routine at this point. I love your optimism. I will give you that. We can say that. I love your optimism. So, Mr. B, what do you think about Brexit? We're just bringing up a conversation from earlier. I'm not sure that I know that for a fact. There's you're gonna you are funny. I do enjoy your energy. Ooh, got counterfeited. So what other topics? Oh, we talked about, let's see, the Revolutionary War, Brexit, racial tensions, a variety of other topics. Mr. Beach, do you have any opinions on any of those? No, actually I use Drive HUD. So I have a drive HUD set up as a tracker right now. It was a relatively easy to use setup kind of thing. It worked for the sites I was playing at the time, because like I said, like before I was playing on America's Card Room, I was playing on Sports Betting AG. So this one actually worked pretty well on that site, and it was relatively inexpensive for like a license. So it was more, I'd never had one, and I just kind of wanted to see what it was about. So I've just stuck with it because it works. Again, just getting back into poker, so I haven't really dug into utilizing it as well as I should. Yeah, both these sites allow for hand analytics. So if I were to, actually, I can show you real quick. Hold on. I've done this before. So we go over here. Just pull up a Windows capture. Click. Show you. We appreciate Mr. Beast trying to get everybody hyped, but we have actual pokery stuff to talk about, so sorry. We're gonna ignore you for a second. Can't get up. We know you're never wrong. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you coming in to say hi. I do. So, fold here. Madman. Random madman. Next time you come in, we'll open up a 1-2 cent table and we'll go all in just for you, okay? Too funny. So if I were to put, what am I trying to do here? I forget. We can actually add. Back and forth. Seven. Fold. We're folding. So yeah, this is so here we go. I'll show you. And wait a minute. Okay. So you can go through.
Journeys not
So there are some green ones, but yeah, you can sort by a whole bunch of stuff. Whole cards. This is always interesting. So we can pull up a whole card statistics and everything. So you can sort by, yeah, so it keeps a full database of everything. You can look at all different stats. So Yeah, that one's fun. And again, it's called Drive HUD. It's an interesting. It's a lot easier than. And again, I think it was honestly. I only think it was like $30 for whatever license. Yeah, having it is good. Again, this time around, I honestly have to say I've since I started streaming a little bit here playing poker, it's been more of a learning curve, learning about how to do streaming stuff, getting that set up. So admittedly, my poker learning has not been where it should be if I was as serious as I probably should be, but we'll get there. This is why we're playing smaller stakes. That's why we're playing the micros now, because I recognize that I'm not trying. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, this is honestly like it's a completely random way I fell into doing this. I mean, I think I've only been streaming for what, like 3 weeks now. Like I just started doing this, but I find the whole process fun. It's more of a creative outlet. So thanks. I really do. Actually, actually that's probably the nicest thing you've said, because I have put some work into doing this, like trying to make it look decent, right? Like I don't want to, as much as I can come on here and lose. I don't mind coming on here and losing 10-20 bucks. That's fine. I don't mind doing that. But I don't want to look like a fool while I do it. I want to look like... Plus, it's really kind of fun, man. I mean, if you play poker, like, if you're at all interested in it and you have it, it's kind of fun. What am I doing? So yeah, it's kind of fun to do. Thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate that. Because honestly, I just started doing it because I would, a lot of times, my girlfriend would just, because she lives in Massachusetts, she lives out of state, so she works in Massachusetts during the week. So when she wasn't here, we'd be on the phone and we'd play video games and stuff. And we got in the habit of kind of just playing like Red Dead Redemption 2 or something or Witcher 3, kind of playing that on Mixer when it was around, because it was just easy to play through the Xbox. So we kind of just got in the habit of doing it, and then when that disappeared, there wasn't like an easy way for her to just watch me play video games and talk to me and stuff. So, oh, she's even here now. Are you here, Emerald? No, she must have went to bed. I didn't get a text from her. Oh, she must be doing laundry or something. Yeah, because will you play, like, it's you and a computer screen clicking buttons, you know? So that's why, like, people like you guys, Nicole, you, Emerald, Tundra, who's my girlfriend, it's always fun to just kind of chat and play, and occasionally I get really good tips that'll hopefully make me money in the future. And if I happen to make some money along the way, just kind of playing poker, I'm cool with that. But then I kind of discovered, as I was going through that process, I kind of discovered that, like, oh, this is actually a pretty cool creative outlet. Like, I'm not sure that Mr. Beast doesn't know he wasn't my girlfriend. Very well, he very well might think he actually is, which is fine. I appreciate, if not delusional, I appreciate his exuberance and his creativity. Hey man, he's just, if he wants to be my personal hype man, that's cool. I don't mind having him coming in here. No, Emerald Tundra is my girlfriend. She's the one that you'll occasionally see that throws a few dollars into my PayPal account when I take a loss, because she feels bad because she made me stream because she wanted to watch. So if I take a loss, So I kind of have a little staker on the side. So again, another reason I'm not too freaked out about the losses. Sometimes I get staked a little bit by my girlfriend to play, so that's always cool. But yeah, so when I started doing it, I was like, all right, well, I guess I could just, I said I have a I picked up a gaming laptop because I was looking for a new laptop, and we had that government stimulus check come out, and there happened to be a really nice laptop at Walmart that was on clearance, and I'm like, well, oh, of course I charge her markup. Oh yeah. Oh no, she does. No. She's not taking a piece of the action. Like, no. I think somehow I don't think I'm charging her enough markup, but that's fine. I mean, there are other benefits as well. She's a lovely human being. Also happens to be a clinical psychologist, so I get free mental training, and I get free self-improvement seminars, which is what I call arguments, because it generally results in me being reminded of all the ways I could be better. I would highly recommend dating a psychologist if you want to always know how you were wrong, why you were wrong, and what was the reason your mother caused it. But short of that, it's lovely. No, she's really great. She's been honestly like a lifesaver. And again, I wouldn't have met cool people like you guys if she hadn't encouraged me to do that. It still encourages me. Like, I was just sending her pictures of the stream setup just tonight, showing her some of the things I changed, and I think she in some ways was more excited about what I did than I do. It's awesome. I think there's, yes, I could only imagine if having dating a graduate. There's a little difference when you get someone who's got their doctorate. There's an experiential factor that makes them less. They're more aware that they don't want to be in a relationship where they actually want to have sessions with their boyfriend. So that it's not quite as painful as I make it out to be. Or she somehow convinced me it's not as painful as I make it out to be. I'm not sure which. I'm thoroughly accept the fact that I don't know if I'm brainwashed and wouldn't be able to tell the difference even if I was. So it's all cool. I'll take it. She throws me poker money. I'm a simple creature. I'm a guy. I'm a fairly simple creature. We don't require much. Feed us. Tell us, give us poker money. Tell us we can do it. We'll go out, we'll work, and we'll put in effort. Very simple. Very simple things. I'm a simple man who likes simple things. And when I get angry with people, I just take it out on my friends. No, she does not tell me the time's up. She reminds me that we went overtime and she's going to have to charge me for an extra session. So it's worse than that. It's worse than that. I have to be the one watching the clock. A reminder that my insurance won't pay for anything more than a 45-minute session. But yeah, so she, like I said, going back. So that was how I kind of started playing video games on Mixer and stuff. And then when that went down, I was like, well, I have a Twitch account. I've watched Twitch. Like, I could probably set something up where I could just stream for you, and even if no one else watches, we could just have that going, and that way we could talk and whatever. So we ended up setting that up, and after a few times I'm like, well, all right, this is kind of cool. And another hobby of mine used to be photography. So So I had a few things lying around, like I had an old action camera, and I'm like, oh, I'll stream with that. Like I can just set this up, like I can make this work. I got a couple I got a light poles, blah blah blah. And then one thing leads to another, and you're like, well, you know, I need to get a microphone because this isn't as good as it could be, and so we did that. And microphones. I know, I did limp, but I got counterfeited on that turn. So yeah, I had some stuff and I started streaming a few weeks ago, and then I was like, well, I'd already had all these lights back here. Basically, I kind of had already had those set up in my apartment anyway, just because I like the ability to tell my Google or Alexa to just shut everything off, so I didn't have to, you know, do it myself. And if I was going to get the white ones, I might as well get the ones that had color. So we set up that, and then I came home one day, which was really awesome. And she's like, oh, I set up the background for your stream because you weren't home, you were working, I had nothing else to do, I thought it'd be fun. So she went around, and all this background you see here was different, and then she spent an afternoon kind of setting it up and making it look pretty decent. I must say, I like it. I was happy with it, even if it's not what it was. Like, I was like, oh wow, it's awesome. Not only did you kind of make it look cool for my background, you like it's actually livable. Like, this room is, you know, just as functional and all that. So we just started slowly building from there, and then I realized that once you get into it, think you mean homely. I think you mean homey, not homely, I should say. But I suppose, in some sense, there is a tendency that when you get a girlfriend, they do try to make you less attractive to other women. So I guess they do have a way of making you homely as they fatten you up. Like your Hansel and Gretel. They want to make sure that you're nice and satisfied, so you don't go anywhere. There is that impulse. So yeah, so she did all that, and ever since then, like this has been like a lot of my time off stream has been set. Like, I actually enjoy like researching like how to set stuff up and just kind of doing the technical stuff. Well, homely means like homely's kind of like unattractive and dull, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Let's do this the cheap way. Homely. Yeah, homely, of a person unattractive in appearance. So yeah, that's that was my understanding of it. Homey is what I think you were going for with everything being comfy. So yeah, she makes it homey. So ironically, with her living in another state and stuff, I think right now she's kind of living in like a couple different places out of a suitcase. So I don't know how homey she thinks it is, but we'll eventually get all that figured out. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't think I'm going anywhere, and I'm hoping she's not. So. Oh really? Well, you know, I'm American. I can bastardize the English language any way I damn well please. It's my prerogative. It's one of the benefits of our independence. We don't have to follow your customs. We don't have to put a U in color if we don't want to. That seems unnecessary. What? This is interesting. What do you call that? call him a flapwood then? Anyway, I don't know what you call him a flapwood. That's interesting. Alright, I actually like this. Modern hotel home. Huh. North American. That's awesome. Only learn to pronounce adjectives. British. So it's a... Alright. Well, hey. Next time I'm at work and some unattractive person gets me aggravated and I call them homely, I will be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm British. I thought you knew that would mean you were welcoming and hospitable. I don't know if it'll get me out of trouble, but it'll certainly make me chuckle inside. Oh, there you go. I think it's better for you, though. I think it's better for you. I think you have more fun with that wordplay. I think you can use the double meaning better than I can. It's kind of hard to accidentally say something as cozy and comfortable in reference to a person, whereas you could have that double meaning when you're at someone's house you don't particularly find it like. You can slip in that dry humor of you Brits are so famous for, and you can use a little bit of wordplay to make yourself chuckle inside, even if no one else gets the joke, which are kind of the best ones sometimes. At least in my opinion. I don't think puns and wordplays are bad. But meanwhile, what's happening here? I don't know what's going on. Look, I don't know how I'm done. Okay, whatever. I trust it. Ugh. Meanwhile, I have really done nothing at these tables tonight. This has been the most enjoyable, not winning any money, but not really losing anything significant either. Nights that I forget so far. Not a good big blind defend. Nothing doing there. We'll fold. So have you, oh actually I meant to ask you earlier, have you picked up Modern Poker Theory from Acevedo that Jonathan Little's always talking about? I know you said you had like a maths background and a chess background. I feel like that would be a book that you might actually enjoy, considering it's really GTO based and a lot of it is math based stuff. I kind of figured you'd have that one. Oh, why did I'm not taking your advice. Take a stab over there, and then go back to the big one over here. Alright, just for you, I'm going to raise my small blind. I mean... I could have got that one through. Damn it. Yeah, I just picked that up too. I would, again, with everything else going on, I really haven't had time to read it. I mean, I've actually had it for a while. I picked it up. I mean, I just looked at it, started looking through the beginning, and I was starting to read it a little bit today, but never actually really cracked it too. Because I actually picked it up, and then I stopped playing poker for a while, because I was able, because my jiu-jitsu gym opened up again. That's when I started playing, and then my jiu-jitsu gym opened up again, so I was spending a lot of time there, making up for lost time. So I kind of just never got around to reading much of it. And then today I was thinking about like my downswing, and I'm like, well, maybe I need to just start cracking into some stuff and really making an effort to try to learn to play a game. Because well, it's fun to just kick around and play and occasionally make some money. And then again, this is not, I'm not trying to make a ton of money or have a bankroll that I can live off of or anything like that, but it's always nice to eventually have a bankroll where I can win some, like, it'd be nice to have a bankroll you win some money and where you can actually do something with it and take some out and have a good time and buy something. It'd be fun. So kind of the level where you make a little bit of extra cash over the course of a month. At the end of the month, you can have a little bit to pull out and maybe buy something nice or upgrade something, or in this particular case, buy a new light for the stream. I don't know. So, be interesting. But I think definitely have to start looking at some of that material. Meanwhile, that overbetting thing, that comes in handy. I mean, I'm not sure I applied it in the right scenario there, but we'll take the win. Speaking of scaring the bejesus out of somebody, I think he bet a little bit over the pot. That's so random. Anyway, sorry, going back to there. Just a random $21 shove. Why not? We've all been there. We've all done that. We all went through that kill fill era where you were just jamming every hand that looked good just to not get outplayed. Min raising. We don't want to play min raise games. We don't want to be, but we don't want to be jamming $23 into the pot either, so. would like to get this heads up at least. Well, doesn't look like that's going to happen. So you're thinking I should be going a little bigger then, I guess, is what I assume is what you are trying to say. Whereas I should be betting somewhere in the neighborhood of 3.5x or so. Yeah. Again, I 100% agree with you. Clearly, because we get a lot of our information from very similar sources. And I will definitely attribute that to lazy button clicking. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you, and that is a factor of basically unthinking play and lazy button clicking, to be honest. It really is just that. But that would be the difference between my bankroll and you growing your bankroll at 1-2 all the way up to 500. Like those are the things I 100% attribute to your success, is your ability to see that and analyze it, and also look at that and be like, make those, which are, I mean, they're these stakes, they're real, like those minor little amounts over so many hands definitely add up. I agree with you. I don't even think I could have told you, to be honest, what my 3-bet sizing was. Whereas you're being a lot more exact, which I think is a good thing, don't get me wrong. I'm just kind of being a little more general, which is something interesting, because when you get down to the psychology of it, like, I mean, here you go, you got into maths. I was a soft science guy. I tend to gravitate towards philosophy and like the ideas behind things rather than the exact execution of it. So having someone point out those little detail things is really invaluable, because I wouldn't see them. You know, I wouldn't look at those things and be like, oh, he's looking, yeah, right? Like, my out of bet position is about half, I mean, is almost a full X, you know, full times less than it probably should be. Or at least by, you know, what? 0.7, you know, I need to be added 0.7x to, at a minimum, to my 3-bet sizing. Again, on each individual hand, it's not a major amount, but over time that definitely will add up. So I will definitely have to start thinking a little bit more. Oh, no, I don't think you're preaching at all. 100%. Do not take this as me thinking you're preaching. I am 150% appreciative of you taking the time to point this stuff out. And I actually really enjoy this level of conversation about the game. Because I don't... When I'm playing by myself, like here, these are not the conversations I'm capable of having in my own head. Not that I'm like I lack any intelligence or I lack the capacity. It's just the inclination and the bent, right? So I don't have a bent towards those numbers. But when those numbers are presented to me, it actually makes it easier for me to assimilate the idea. And once the idea is implanted, then then the details will kind of come a little more naturally. I mean, it's one of the reasons I'm, you know, I've advanced in jiu-jitsu a lot faster than some of the people that started around me. Is the same reason I'm able to not be completely devastated here, but I'm not excelling, is I tend to gravitate towards principle rather than detail. So these kind of detail things are really interesting to me, because I would know, like you said, I know I have to be raising, I know my 3-bet, I know I have to be putting in the 3-bet. I have ideas of ranges. I have some principles that I can fall back to, but when you start nailing on the details, they really just fly by me, and I don't even see them at all. Yeah, and I generally appreciate you taking the time to even point that out, and in the way you did. I mean, it's completely respectful. Don't. I mean, I'm not a dick. I'd have to be a complete dick to like not to be like, oh, this guy is really like taking time to point out something he noticed, and I don't want to take that criticism because, you know, why is he watching me then? What the fuck? That's stupid. Like, I think I've said it before on the stream. I've said, like, one of the rules for life is, you know, you always listen to people because you assume they might know something you don't know. No, man, I'm encouraging the conversation. Like, believe me, one of my hobbies is choking people out for fun. Like, if I thought you were being a dick, I have no problem with asserting myself. I am very familiar with the art of asserting myself when I don't feel like things are going well. So yeah, no, I'm 100% grateful for you taking the time to point these things out. I think it's awesome. I think it's a lot of fun too, because now you've actually got me like, it's weird too, because when you point out these things, it actually gives me a direction to take a look at stuff. And I honestly, that tends to be a better way for me to approach learning. Yeah, definitely, dude. Feel free. I appreciate it. I will, and I'm gonna go back and look at some of the stuff we talked about, because that's just a lot of cool stuff. Now you've actually kind of inspired me to be like, oh, I gotta remember to go check out Jonathan Little's stuff again. I have all these resources I'm just not using. But now that everything kind of is settled out, and I feel like the stream is kind of in a good place as far as the technical stuff goes, I'm gonna definitely take a look at some of this stuff. It's really... Oh, dude, that is so cool. Man, I hope... Yeah, I'm sure you do. Like, you seem like a really cool dude. Like, that is, like, the best resource. Like, that's how I was with jiu-jitsu when I first got to my gym. We had a lot of guys go through that were, like, UFC fighters, or... They were, it's mono board here. Peel. Interesting. So they were the UFC fighters, so I got... So I got a lot of training with them, and that was a lot of fun. Wow, really? It's like... But see, here's a perfect example. That wasn't a move I had until today. Like, that wasn't really in my repertoire to pull out that over bet on the check turn after calling with it on the draw. Like, it just, that wouldn't have been a move I would have been pulled out. But having watched that one webinar, and, like, again, recognizing that this person knows what they're talking about, which clearly you do, And you're, you know, again, I tend to give people a benefit of the doubt, unless, like we talked about earlier, like I think you trust people. You tell me you've went from an initial deposit to 1 cent, 2 cent to a $500 bankroll. Well, I know from doing this and consistently losing money that that's not easy to do. So that does give you a level of authority and at least some ability to pass on information. And I'm not just going to disregard that because I'm skeptical or I don't know you. Like, it seems silly. It just doesn't seem like a good way to go through life. So I'm really, like I said, I'm gonna, of course, but that's gonna cost me. Oh well. I mean, yeah, exactly. But again, I don't see. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that concept makes a lot of sense to me, right? If he has either of those, so he's going to be firing that turn. I know that those have, but the detail of putting in the overpot bet, it just wasn't a detail I would have thought of, and it makes so much sense. And I think what I've utilized it, at least, I mean, again, I'm not really winning on this session, but I mean, I've utilized that move at least 3 times tonight in spots that I probably wouldn't have won otherwise, and I'd be down a lot more. So I'm not going to complain. I think that's awesome. And like I said, like, I'm trying right now, kind of adjusting some of these. No, I honestly, like I said, I like moved it to a place where I might start reading it. It's that kind of scenario. So I haven't even, I will, what does he say? Is that a good section I have to check out? I hate these scenarios. So that was, I believe, a birthday present. Again, a birthday present from my girlfriend. All these people that complain about their significant others don't like them playing poker. She actually picked me up that book. And I just have not read it because, again, jiu-jitsu happened. So I definitely have to take a look at that. Alright, ace queen. Okay, we like you. We like ace queen. We tell ourselves we like ace queen. But we tend to like it more when they do that or we hit the flop. Oof. Oh, time. Oh, sweet. I'm gonna actually, it's right over here. Let me, hold on. I'm actually gonna grab that right now. Actually, since you mentioned it and brought it up and took the time, I will actually 70 to 78. This book. All I see is equations. There's just equations. See, I told you I wasn't lying. I have it. It's true. You trust me, I believe. But there's so many, like, numbers and stuff. Look at it. That's like a 6-line equation. Like 6 lines of equations and stuff. Clairvoyance toy game? Okay. It says simplified poker scenario, so maybe I can actually handle it. What? Why are you doing that? Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I seriously doubt you actually use foul language. Oh, my chatbot has no sense of humor. Sorry about that. It doesn't understand how funny that would have been to actually have been typed out. But yeah, I do have it. I actually took it and I have bookmarked the section. So if you recommend, on your recommendation, I will, in the next day or so, take a look through that and try to ingest the information as best I can. See if maybe I can plug a leak or two. Sweet. I like those. I like those quick return on investments. It's like catching a Bitcoin. It's like catching Bitcoin at the bottom of a dip before a run. Quick turnaround, make us happy. And you see, look, I'm already implementing third-ish about my exact being able to calculate numbers, size C bets on flops a higher percentage of the time than. So hopefully, oops, that was a mistake. Okay, now you can correct me for my silly 3-bet sizing, but at least I'm getting the continuation bet sizing better. At least my continuation size is better, and it actually is paying. It actually is working out. See, look at that. Super easy. Take it down. Over C-bet. I gotcha. So you're already turning me a profit in the long run. Appreciate that. So yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that. Probably not tonight because I don't know that my brain can handle it. Alright. Alright, let's see if this one wrecks me for the night. Ugh. Why is it gotta be like that? Give it up here. I think I gotta give it up there. I do not think he is going anywhere. Oh well. Oh well. Alright. Speaking of brains being tired, I think it is time I retired mine. And once again, man, I cannot thank you enough for the advice and the tips and the observations. Master switch with double barreling, flop and turn every hand and then overfold in the river.
city, a kingdom to
Yeah, I imagine that, like, intuitively, like, anecdotally, and just looking at it. So we'll just take that. So, just looking at it, it makes sense that that would be option. That would actually, that could possibly be true.
next they bite.
That really could be true, but I'm not sure. I mean, again, I don't know, but yeah, definitely, like, it does seem like it doesn't seem that far-fetched, in other words. So, it'll be interesting. But again, man, like I said, everybody, thank you again for, I really appreciate you coming in chat and talking. Like, 100%, that made the night be so much better. That was one of my favorite streams, and I really appreciate it. And now I got some stuff to work on, and hopefully I'll see you again. All right, man, have a great night. Take it easy. Good luck at the tables, everyone.